Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on the wonderful, decidedly vanilla SMP with me, Vanillaraccoon. Heyo! And in this episode, you guys, we're going to be working over in this little area of the raccoon sanctuary, and that is because at the moment we currently have our skeleton horses, our llamas, and even our cattle hoarded up in very tiny claustrophobic like pens, and I want them to have the ability to roam semi-freely within this area. And I say semi-freely because I would like them to be able to get out, stretch their legs, get some fresh air while doing so, but I don't want them to do so where they could possibly wander into a nearby lava pool or just simply get lost within the surrounding mountain area. Now, as you can tell right off the bat, we have a few stone blocks currently laid out on this section right here, along with that section over there, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do a little bit of building on camera because as you may or may not, well, as you may know if you've been around the channel for a while, but if you're new, then I am not the best at providing the most entertaining commentary when getting my build on camera, and that's because usually when I get my build on, I try to just give it my full undivided attention. But I thought, well, you know what? Why don't we go ahead and just practice getting our build on camera, so that way then we can later on in life be able to provide some fairly decent commentary while doing so. And after all, practice does make progress. So what I'm currently doing here is, since we have some vines growing alongside this wall, I thought I would go ahead and just take some mossy cobblestone and place a single block right there, and then we're just going to have a little bit of a dip in the wall, nothing too drastic where it goes vroom or anything. It's just going to go boop like that, sort of like how if you're driving alongside a road and you see a rather small pothole, it's nothing too bad where you're going to go ahead and bust a tire or break anything out of place from doing so, but it's just a gradual boop type of thing. Now what we're going to do right here is I'm thinking of placing a cobblestone block, and then I'm going to go ahead and place a slab on top, and then just to cap it off right here, I'm going to place a single stair, so that way we can have something like that. Although, as you may be able to tell with the wall that we have over here, we do have our stairs placing parallel to the wall over there, and we do have, wait, do we have any stairs that are facing outwards from the wall? Let's just go ahead and take a look from the other side, just so we can go ahead and see. And it looks like we do, but we don't have them that much. And actually, since it's getting to be nighttime, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take a quick little snooze job, because building on camera is never, well, building at night, at least for me, is never fun, because then you're going to get hostile creatures such as zombies that are going to want to give you a nice big warm hug when maybe you're not in the mood to get a hug, or maybe you'll have the occasional creeper come by, take a peek at what you're building, and then be so amazed that they won't be able to contain their amazement. So let's just go ahead and take a cobblestone stair, place it like this, so then we begin to have our slope gradually go up, as opposed to just having a linear slope going from here to here. We have something that's sort of going gradual, and then it just take a quick little steep increase. Now, since we have that stair right there, let's just go ahead and take a cobblestone block, and then we're going to take a cobblestone slab, place it down like that, and then right where we have the not so vibrant shade of gray is at, in terms of the stone block, I think that is where I'm going to be placing my stone brick blocks. So why don't we go ahead now, and just to give this wall a little detail from the outside perspective, then we're going to place a stair right here, so that way it looks a little broken up, and maybe even it's beginning to wear down as time progresses. And let's just go ahead now and replace the blocks that we have on our bar with some cobblestone, because we're going to be applying variation into this wall, and then maybe right here is where we can go ahead and place a single cobblestone slab. And then right here, we're going to do something different. We're actually going to begin to raise the wall real abruptly like so, and then maybe just right here we'll place another cobblestone stair, but then we'll place a cobblestone slab on top, just so then we can begin to have the wall begin to slope downwards and let it just begin gradually. And then probably right about here is where we're just going to go ahead and drop it abruptly. And since we have a cobblestone stair right there, I don't think we're going to be able to actually place a cobblestone stair facing sideways. So why don't we just go ahead and remove this, see how this looks. And you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a cobblestone block, then take a cobblestone slab, place it like that, and then do, oops, I fell over the edge. And then we're going to do something like that. And what do you know? We're already reaching the end point of this wall right here. So why don't we just go ahead and now let's go ahead and just take a moment to look at this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a stone brick slab, place it down right there. And since this is going to be, since we have a vibrant shade of gray right here, let's just go ahead and take a moment to take a peek of our surroundings, make sure there's no hostile creature creeping up. Let's just go ahead now and take a moment to think about what we want to place here, because as you can tell, the wall over there stops just about right here as well. It's not perfectly lined up, but that's okay. We're going to work with this. So then we can place down some fence gates on these two block spaces, maybe even this third middle one right here, and then we'll be able to make sure that the animals are penned in this area, but we'll be able to have easy access in and out, and also have some nice walls connecting together via the fence gate system. But I think what I'm going to do right here is I think I'm just going to keep it simple, and I'm going to place a single cobblestone block right there. Now let's just go ahead and actually, do I have any? Yes, I do. Let's just go ahead and take an ender pearl, cast it into the wind, see where we land. Boom, right here. All right, so why don't we go ahead and just enter theater mode so we can have a clean screen. And let's take a look at the wall that we just created. And I think this looks fairly decent. It kind of matches what we have going on with the wall opposite, just off in the distance, where we have some gradual slopes, some steep slopes, and then some small slopes with the walls in terms of where the stairs, the slabs, and the whole blocks are placed at, and I like that. Now, I'm not entirely sure if I want to leave these stone blocks as they are, or maybe even then I'll reverse it, and where a vibrant shade of gray is at is where I'll place a stone brick based block at, and where a not so vibrant shade of gray is at is where I'll place a cobblestone based block at. But I don't want to worry about that right now. Right now, my primary focus is to just get the wall established. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment to think about how I want to construct this wall, and then I'm going to go ahead and do so. And then when I bring it back, we're going to begin to round up all the animals and just get them to meet each other, so then they can get to become friends, and then we'll begin to work on the inside of the animal pen area. So let me go ahead and do all of that, and I'll see you in a moment. Let's just go ahead and disregard what I said towards the end of the previous segment, because I think I'm going to go ahead and continue to get my build on camera with you all. And be sure to let me know in the comment section below if you would like to see more DVLPs where I get my build on camera, but also provide some commentary for you all. Because feedback is always appreciated. It helps me know what you guys, the viewers, want to see, and it also helps me just practice being able to do any said things, and then provide more good content for you all. So what I'm thinking of doing is I don't really want to have that many. I don't want to have an increase and decrease in the height of the wall so much as what we have going on here, because now as I continue to walk around this area, I kept thinking that I would like to be able to have a pretty decent view of my house, along with the Arch of Titus and even the wall for the bountiful garden that we have over there. So The wall isn't going to go too high up. I think it will probably go only as high as this for right now. And also considering it's going to connect to the structure that we have right here, it's not really, I don't think we should really have the wall rise up too much, because then it's gonna overcast the structure right here, and we don't want that to go on. We don't want this little structure right here to feel small in any way, shape, or form. That wouldn't be kind to do. So let's just go ahead now and grab our stone brick blocks. And why don't we just go ahead and place one right here. A stone brick block right there. And then we're going to just take a stone brick stair, place one right there. And then we're going to go ahead and begin to lower the height of the wall by doing something like that. There we go. Let's just take a step back and for a moment and just see what we have. And again, the reason why I'm just going to leave these small gaps right here is so that in the event that we see something off in the distance that may not help us get our build on, we can just easily take our bow, cork our arrow back, and then let it fly, almost like an ender pearl when we cast them into the wind. So now why don't we go ahead and just take a cobblestone stair, cobblestone slab, and cobblestone block. And since this is going to be since that's a stone brick stair, why don't we just go ahead now and just place a cobblestone block like this? And I know what I have been doing throughout this DVLP so far is going back and forth with my inventory with the cobblestone base blocks and the stone brick base blocks. But you know what? I'm going to switch things up for a bit. I think I'm going to go ahead and just leave them on the bar, the cobblestone base blocks that is, and I'm just going to go ahead and place down something like this, so that way now when I take a look as to what I'm doing here, I could just go ahead and leave something like that. And I think I'm actually going to remove the stone brick slab that we have on top of that stone brick stair, because that's going to give this section of the wall a little more height than I intend for it to have. So now all we have left is this little open space right here, and we're going to go ahead and just grab our stone brick blocks, and then why don't we go ahead and just place something down like this and then do something like that. There we go. So now, like I said, we have a decent view of our house along with the Arch of Titus and the walls to our bountiful garden. And it's starting to get to be dusk, so to prevent any hostile creatures of the night from spawning, let's just go ahead, hop in the bed, because we did just get our build on, and I think it's time to get a little rest. And there we go, it's a brand new day. So now we're nice and relaxed. We're ready to continue to get our build on after getting a quick night's of sleep. And now why don't we go ahead, and do I have any wooden materials? No, I don't. But actually, let's just go ahead into an ender chest right here. And let's just go ahead and grab our Builder's Beginner's Kit that has all of the essential supplies that a beginner builder may need. And you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use dark oak for the for my fence gates. And that's because I think it'll give the choice of stone block materials that we've been using a nice contrast. I don't want it to blend in with the walls. I want it to stand out to show that, hey, you know, we do have a way to get in and out if it wasn't obvious enough. So why don't we go ahead and just do something like that. And now, do we have any cobblestone walls on us? No, we don't. Okay, that's a little odd. Always come prepared. But then again, even with my beginner's builder's kit right there, we have some cobblestone walls at the ready to be used. So now I'm going to go ahead and connect these walls by using cobblestone walls. And I think actually what I can go ahead and do is lay down just 2 more stone blocks. That way now we have this ready to be connected. And then why don't we go ahead and take a stone brick stair. Actually, I meant to just take 1, not 59 of them. And why don't we go ahead and just grab a stone brick slab. And what we're going to do is we're going to place the slab right there. Oh, can I please hop up here? What's preventing me? There we go. And now we have something like that. So now when we walk down in this area, we can still see the structures off in the distance. We can even see the little house that we have for our skeleton horses, but we have these two fence gates right here. And if we are having difficulty deciding which one we want to go through, we have at least two options to use, and there we go. So now that we have that all used up, let's just go ahead now and begin to let the animals roam free. I do not think that they have any chance of, oops, before we go any farther, let's just go ahead and place these down as well. And there we go. I do not think that they have a way to get out, because even if they were to begin to climb the vines that we have right here, there's not a lot of block space for them to be able to climb up and then climb onto the slab at least. So let's just go ahead now and just test this all on camera. Alright, my little llama friends, you're free to go. Alright, you're free. Be free. Relocating the moo-moos from their little claustrophobic pen into here may be a little difficult. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab just enough wheat so that we can go ahead. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. Hold the phone here. Hold the phone. Actually, here we go. We have some nice. We have one hay bale. Let's just go ahead and convert that into 9 pieces of wheat. Oh, I just realized something. That testificate over there with the purple coat, he is one of my favorite villagers because I've been using him to trade rotten flesh with to get my emeralds, so then I can get my lapis for when I do my enchanting. Oh, we're going to have to make sure that he doesn't escape. Okay, why don't we just go ahead, before we even begin to relocate the moo-moos, let's just go ahead and place that down right there. We're going to do something like this, and there we go. Now he should not be able to escape. But if he does, we'll at least be able to quickly track down how he did that. So now, like what I was saying, let's begin to relocate the moo-moos. And sorry, Cortana, but I'm going to have to remove you from my offhand for the moment. And let's just go ahead and punch out the walls. And let's begin to gather the herd, so to speak. And we already have a few moo-moos who want to do their own thing, but that's okay, I guess. Oh, well, here they come. Here we go. It's the, watching these moo-moos come at me sort of reminds me of how somewhere in Europe there's a town where they let the bulls roam free throughout the streets. I'm not entirely sure why they do that, but I've at least seen and heard news coverages on that, and how sometimes though some people may wander into the streets when they're not supposed to, and they may get to meet the bulls up close and personal in a way that they did not intend to. But let's just go ahead and continue to get some more of these moo-moos into this area, so then they can be with their llama friends, or their soon-to-be llama friends, along with the skeleton horses. Oh, that's right, I still have it in my hand, even though it wasn't in my offhand. So let's just go ahead and shut the gates right here, and let's try and round up the stray moo-moos that we're trying to go rogue. There you go. Come on. It's okay, little buddy. It's okay. Alright, I think we're all here. Are we all ready to meet the other moo-moos and then meet the llamas and the skeleton horses? And then that one testificate over there who wants to be a loner for some reason. It's okay. Oh, and then we still have one more moo-moo that's trying to do his own thing. Pardon me. Excuse me, but you gotta move over here. Come on. Let's move over here, buddy. Come on. Don't be that guy. It's okay. I remember when I was younger, and I'm talking kindergarten days or even first grade days of my childhood, meeting people was always a little hard for me to do. Meeting new friends was always a little hard for me to do. But eventually I just came around and was like, you know what? I see other kids playing with toys that I like to play with. Legos was my thing. And I see other kids playing with Pokemon cards, and I like to collect and play with Pokemon cards, so I'm gonna go ahead and chat with them. And lo and behold, I met some pretty cool people, and even to this day, post-college days even, mid-20s, shall we say, we're still best of friends. And so yeah, now that we went ahead and got the wall is established, we have our nice little entrance and exit points laid down. And it looks like no one is able to escape, although that sounds a little harsh and a little cruel to say. But now that we can at least tell that everyone is here to stay, and they're all becoming accepting of one another, and they're befriending one another, I think at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to begin to work on the middle section of the walls, replace these stone blocks with cobblestone / stone brick based blocks. And when I bring it back, we're probably going to end the DVLP from there, because I don't want this project to get too out of hand. because that's never a good thing. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time where we must begin to conclude this DVLP, but while doing so, let's just go ahead and take a look at the work that I did off camera. So right off the bat, as you can tell, I swapped out the stone blocks with a mixture of cobblestone based blocks and stone brick blocks, and let's just go ahead and take an ender pearl, cast it into the wind, and see where we land. Hopefully not in the lava though. And I did the exact same thing, going all the way around the new animal pen that we have created. And also, as you can tell, I just took some vines and sprinkled them along the wall. Although the one thing that I did learn while recording this DVLP is that if you were to take a vine and place it down on this block level right here, those moo-moos are actually kind of loud. I know that they are excited to be on camera, but just for the sake of your ears and mine, let's go ahead and turn down the master volume just a wee little bit. So one thing I did learn is that if you were to place a vine on this block space right in front of us, for example, the vine can actually grow upwards. I did not know that, and if that's something you had learned as well, then hey, power to you, because learning at least one thing every single day is always a good thing. Now, the one thing I would like to point out is, oops, I did not mean to cast another ender pearl into the wind and land right there, so let's just go ahead and throw it in the inventory. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about making any happy accidents. So one thing you may have noticed that is different from the previous segments and now is that we have a minor little pathway that stems off of from this main pathway and this main pathway, and that is because when I was walking around through here, I couldn't help but think that maybe having one little pathway right here wouldn't be such a bad idea, because maybe we don't want to run in and out of the structure to get from point A to point B or from point B to point A. Also, one thing you may be able to tell is that we no longer have that purple coated villager, the cleric, and that is because at some point in time, I guess when it was nighttime, he may have met a zombie, and the two of them may have wandered off into the world to go exploring. I don't know what they do when a zombie meets a villager, but whatever it is that they do, at least hopefully they're having fun. Now, as you can tell, we have a double chest with trapdoors surrounding it, and that is because when I think of an open pasture in which various animals may graze, I often sometimes think of a place where a farmer may take some hay bales and just lay them down. And I figured, well, you know what, since this is one Minecraft and we have a thing of double chests, why not go ahead and utilize it as a place to store our hay bales. Now, right off the bat, as you may be able to tell, we don't have a lot of wheat growing in which we could intertwine to make hay bales. But at some point in time, we will be establishing a nice little farm area in which we can go ahead and grow all the wheat that we may need, so then we can continue to repopulate the moo-moos. And I think llamas can be bred with wheat, or if not wheat, then hay bales. It's one of the two, if not both. But I think that's going to do it for this episode now. Oh, wait, no. There's one more thing that I would like to do on camera. And one thing is when people take a look at my floors, they tend to say, hey, Vanilla, how'd you go about doing that? And so, like I always say, if you're using a resource pack that has a variation of textures for a particular block, in this case, the stone block, as you can tell, we have a vibrant shade of gray and a not so vibrant shade of gray. And much like how we composed the walls of cobblestone based blocks and stone brick blocks, I'm just gonna go ahead and I think where we have the not so vibrant shade of gray is where I'm just gonna go ahead and place down some gravel blocks. There we go. That's beginning to look just a little more beautiful. All builds and projects are beautiful right from the start, but if you go ahead and apply a little variation, you can just go ahead and make them ever so more beautiful. And then right where we have the vibrant shade of gray is I think where we're going to lay down some cobblestone. And I'm not going to mix up the cobblestone with mossy cobblestone or anything like that, because I don't want to go over the board with applying detail into the floor. And also, this is really just a place where I can come to when it's raining, or if I want to be AFK for a moment and tend to something in real life, then I'll be able to just safely do so in here. But that is going to do it for this episode, you guys. Thank you all ever so much for tuning in. Now, before I go, I would like to state that if we can get, I'm going to say, 10 likes on this video, then I will go ahead and release a special DVLP over the weekend of December the 16th to the 19th. So again, if my thinking is correctly, this video should be going up on the 15th of December. And if we can get, no, that seems a little high. If we can get at the least, I'll say 5 likes on this video by the beginning of said weekend, then I'll go ahead and release a special DVLP over the weekend for you all to enjoy. But that's going to do it for this episode, you guys. Thank you all ever so much for tuning in. And remember, if you like what you see, then please give that like button a hug and subscribe for the latest buys. And if you had a blast with a good laugh, then make sure you favorite this video and share it with a friend or two. But until next time, peeps, this is Vanillaraccoon with a pasture full of moo-moos and llamas. Peace out.